Hello everyone. So in the previous session we learnt about different types of sedimentation tanks, the inlet and outlet arrangements, like different types of zones of sedimentation tank, and today we learn about the different types of coagulants and sedimentation aided with coagulation, and what is meant by coagulation, flocculation in detail, and types of coagulants and its suitability in the treatment of water. Okay, so this presentation consists of information related to the coagulation, flocculation, the coagulation and flocculation mechanism, then feeding devices of coagulants and different types of coagulants used in the treatment of water. Okay, so let us begin. What is meant by the coagulation, flocculation and sedimentation? Often these three terms are used simultaneously because these processes undergo in a sedimentation tank are followed by coagulation and flocculation. Okay, so in the first diagram you can see the different types of particles, so which are dispersed in a medium. It could be water or any other liquid. So we are concerned with the treatment of water. Okay, then these particles will come in contact with each other due to different types of forces. It could be due to the attraction of intermolecular forces, or due to the bundling up of particles with each other because of charge neutralization, or the charge attraction, or due to the formation of double layer, etc. And the particles will increase its size by bumping onto each other. Then the particles will be formed into a flocks. These are called as flocks, and the process we call it as flocculation. Then thereby it will increase its size, and due to the influence of gravity they tend to settle, and that is called as sedimentation. Okay, so this is the cycle of the coagulation, flocculation and sedimentation. Okay, the first step is coagulation, second is flocculation, and the third one is sedimentation, that is settlement of the particles. Okay, so coming to what are different types of coagulants. Okay, so coagulation and flocculation is nothing but it involves the addition of compounds that promotes the clumping of fines into larger flocks so that they can be easily separated from the water under the influence of gravity. Okay, so basically the particles in the water, that is colloids and suspended solids, which causes turbidity in the water, may consist of negatively charged particles, and most of the coagulants which we add to the water, it has the positive charges, and due to that the charge neutralization process takes place in the sedimentation tank. So and that we call it as neutralization of the charges due to the addition of the chemical or any other type of coagulants. Okay, the coagulation flocculation process can be used as a preliminary or intermediate step between the water or wastewater treatment processes like filtration and sedimentation. Okay, so usually this is the pre-treatment process we employ during the sedimentation in the treatment of water. And iron and aluminum salts are oftenly used in the treatment of water. And what are the factors affecting coagulation? Okay, so the important factors which affects the coagulation process is the dosage of coagulants and the quantity of coagulants, the pH of the water which is being treated, and the properties of the pollutants present. Okay, so usually there could be different types of pollutants present in the water, that is organic and inorganic impurities. So inorganic impurities consists of
clay, silt, and other small suspended solids which are organic in nature, and organic impurities like algae, bacteria may be present in the water. Okay, and the effectiveness of coagulation process is also affected by pre-treatment methods like oxidation. That is, we usually do aeration before sedimentation and coagulation in water treatment process. So how to decide the dosage of coagulant? Okay, so that is usually done by a test called as jar test. Here it is consists of 6 jars in the apparatus of jar test, and the dosage of the coagulant is varied in each jar, and it involves mixing of coagulant at a rapid mixing stage and also slow mixing stage, and it is observed that the jar which removes maximum turbidity is called as the optimum dosage. Okay, and the total duration of the test is around 30 minutes. Initially, for up to 2 to 3 minutes we do the rapid mixing and followed by slow mixing. Okay, so this is how the apparatus look like. It consists of 6 number of jars fitted with these paddles which are rotated with the help of a motor which is fixed here. So each jar is added with varying dosages of the coagulant, say 2 milligram, 4 milligram, 6 milligram, 8 milligram, 10 milligram, and 12 milligram, or depending upon the type of the impurities and turbidity of the water, we decide the dosage of the coagulant, and we'll start the motor. For initially for a period of 2 to 3 minutes we'll do a faster mixing by using this paddle. So these paddles will rotate at 100 to 200 rpm initially during the rapid mixing stage for 2 to 3 minutes, then followed by slow mixing of 2 to 5 rounds per minute for up to a duration of another 28 minutes, so that the total duration of the test is for 30 minutes. Then afterwards we'll allow the floc form to settle for up to 2 to 3 minutes, and we'll observe the turbidity in different jars. Okay, and the optimum dosage is the one which settles maximum floc for minimum dosage. That is termed as optimum dosage of coagulant. Okay, so what are different types of coagulants? Okay, so before going to that, let us see a small video description of the process of coagulation and flocculation to understand the concept of formation of double layer and the charge neutralization process. Okay, see, often these two terms are used simultaneously. Okay, so it is called as the formation of floc and particle settling. Okay, here imagine a water having some turbidity, as you can see, which is placed in the beaker. Okay, and it is a water from a paper mill effluent or some other industry, and here we are adding the coagulants. Okay, and so this is how the floc formation takes place. Like I was telling about the types of the particles, it could be organic and inorganic particles, and here the process of the coagulation and flocculation takes place when you add the coagulants and mix it vigorously. And this, like, assume that the particle may be having a negatively charged in the water, and upon adding the coagulants, so it will form a
first layer, that is of positively charged layer, and similarly it will form another layer of the charges, that is called as the formation of double layer. Okay, and because of the formation of double layer, there could be the particle to particle interaction, and thereby the particles start to bump with each other after adding the alum or ferric chloride. Usually metallic salts are used in the treatment of water because of its suitability and the operability in a good and broader pH range. Okay, so after the formation of the double layer, then we do a process of mixing, that is called as the flocculation process. So all these charged particles, with the help of formation of double layer, they stick to each other and they settle down. Okay, see, this is how it is used in the treatment of water, that is the flocculation tank, or followed by aeration. There could be a coagulation and flocculation tank wherein the chemical will be fed to this water and it will allow to the sedimentation tank for the settlement of the particle. Okay, I hope you have understood the process of coagulation and flocculation. Okay, now let us continue with the different types of coagulants.